Good morning, Get Wrecked for Recovery crew. So it's day number 90 of the Redeeming Eden Cycle Tour, RECT, Get Wrecked for Recovery. A bicycle ride across the United States to raise awareness that there are addiction recovery options available, that you don't have to die in your addiction. There's churches, celebrate recoveries, and rescue missions all over the nation, all over the world, that just want to help you, talk to you, and love you if you find yourself battling addiction. So 90 days on the road today. Do you know the average rehab program, Christian rehab program, is around 90 days? Some are a year. My vision for Redeeming Eden will be a 90-day program. So I've been on the road as long as someone would be in the program, which is really neat to me. I'm here at Life Church in Houston, Texas, Missouri. Still kind of overwhelmed by that, and it's funny because the pastor was from Houston, Texas. He's got a Texas tag. And he said when he sent the resume out, he's like, wouldn't it be funny? And it was the Lord. So, yeah, I'm here at Life Church. Pastor Jim gave me a ride this morning from the hotel. And I'm going to go in here. He's going to give me 10 or 12 minutes to speak. And, yeah, then I'm going to get on the road for the day. I think that I'm going to have him take me to Eminence. He mentioned being able to do that. And then I would ride into Ellington this afternoon and evening. Which would be like a 27-mile ride. So I think that's the way I'm going to do it. That's what I prayed about last night, and that's what I studied on my phone this morning. That makes me 40 miles ahead of where I need to be, but it also puts me really kind of right on time for the packages that are supposed to be arriving at the post offices ahead of me. So I think that's what I'm going to do. This is my second vehicle assist on the entire trip, the first one being in Whitebird. But both of them I am totally at peace with. This one is actually going to help me out a lot. So it's supposed to get cold tonight. We'll see how it goes. But either way, let me get to church. I love you guys. I'll see you later. Good morning, Get Wrecked for Recovery crew. So it's day 90 of the Redeeming Eden Cycle Tour. Are you having deja vu? Probably so. So yesterday was a really fast-paced day, but also really restful and slow. I ended up day 90 going to church. Jim came and picked me up from the hotel, took me to church, which you saw. I got to speak at church. It was good. Congregation was just a wonderfully friendly group of people. Got to have many meaningful conversations. Met a guy who's been in recovery for 7 years named Michael Collins. And so then afterwards, Jim and his wife, Missy, took me to lunch. We ate at a nice little barbecue place right there in town. I think it was called Savers. And after that, he had a meeting to go to at 3 o'clock, between 3 and 4. So he put me out with the bike, and I went and kind of explored town, went to Walmart, came back to the church, charged my phone, and was able to finally get the day before yesterday's video uploaded. And took a nap. And so after the meeting, he was like, look, I can either take you to Somerville, or I can take you to Eminence. And he had mentioned Ellington earlier, which was 60 miles. But it was going to get super rainy and super cold. So I was like, yeah, if you could take me to Ellington, they have a free bike hostel, which is the Ellington Route 76 bike hostel. And so then I don't have to put up a tent in Eminence. I don't have to try and make any connections there. Don't have to buy a hotel. He even offered actually to buy a hotel, and I was like, no, y'all have done so much for me. Thank you so much. If you can just get me to the extra 16 miles or whatever it is to Ellington, then that'll work perfectly fine. And so he did. And so we got out and we talked. Got the bike brought in here, all the luggage brought in, and there's no ramp into this building, which is strange. But I had to bring everything up the stairs. Jim helped. We all hugged, said bye. I said, do you want to say anything for YouTube? He said, no, just say some sketchy guy the pastors at church, says hi. So there you go, Jim. Anyway, definitely not a sketchy guy. One of the most giving, loving people I've probably ever met. And so I'm laying there talking to my wife. My phone does its little, verp verp thing, and I was like, all right. So I finished talking with her, and I realized I've got a voicemail. And I look at the voicemail, and I was like, it's Jim, okay. So I called it back. I was thinking, what a wonderful way to end the day, leaving me a message. He was at his house, and he said, I believe that this is your bike helmet and GoPro in the back of my truck. And I said, oh my gosh, I am so sorry. I am so sorry. I can't apologize enough. He said, look, I missed it too. Everything's okay. He said, I'll bring it in the morning around 9 o'clock. And I said, well, if you need to take the gas money out of the donations or compensate for your time, he said, no, Adam, don't worry about it. I'm going to bring it. I'll be there around 9. So 60 miles one way, 60 miles back, 60 miles here to bring the helmet, 60 miles back. Not only did he pick me up for breakfast, take me out to lunch, they bought me dinner on the way here at Subway, let me speak at his church, collected an offering for Redeeming Eden at the church, drove me 60 miles, drove back home. Now he's bringing my helmet back. Unbelievable grace and mercy from Jim. So thank you, Jim, so very much. Oh my goodness, thank you, Life Church in Houston, Missouri, for the blessing that you have been to me yesterday. So since I'm 60 miles in, I got a bunch of miles covered. It rained last night. The temp dropped, as you can tell. It's still wet outside, but that's enough of me talking. I have got to get on the road. As soon as Jim pulls in, I'm going to go ahead and go up to the gas station and grab some groceries, and then come back this way, meet up with Jim, get my bike helmet, hit the road. I love you guys. I'll see you later. All right, so I stopped here at Centerville at the old mill, and it is just absolutely gorgeous. Never seen anything this peaceful or this tranquil. There is nobody out here. It's still very chilly, and I've been battling a straight north wind headed north all day long. I think I've made it like 17 miles. And I'm only going to go to Johnson Shut-In State Park, which is 10 more miles away. A lot of big hills to climb. These hills have been giant. So, yeah, I'm going to head that way, but I wanted to stop here and just kind of take a break. I actually was going to stop at a park in town that's on the map that's no longer there. And I went to the courthouse to sit down and just eat and rest. And the FedEx guy was like, hey, you got to go check out the old mill. It's 3/10 of a mile down this road here that the park was supposed to be on. The water is just crystal clear. This hill up here, there's not a river that's flowing into this. On top of this hill that you just saw, the little ponds, there are 10 different springs that just bubble up out of the mountainside here and feed this whole mill area. And it is just gorgeous. I know usually I'm talking about how scale doesn't do it justice, but these fall colors and this waterfall and the mill, it really, this is a very special place. And this will be one of the highlights of my memories forever on this trip. It is just gorgeous. So, yeah, I hope that the visuals were able to do it justice for you, like it's doing it for me here, but I got to get back on the road. I love you guys. I'll see you later. All right, so I stopped here at the courthouse, and the police station is right there. And I went up and asked if there was a restroom, and they said, yeah, right in the front door. So I got to go in the police station. I realized it's the police station I called last night when Frank showed up at the hostel. So I don't know if I mentioned that earlier in the video or not, but a young man showed up last night, homeless, at about 10 o'clock, and he, kind of like walked up and knocked on the screen door, and he was like, hey, how does this place work? Can I stay here? And I said, man, I'm going to have to call the police to find out that. I don't think so. And so I called this police department. Didn't know that this was it, but this is where it's located. And they said, nope, only for cyclists. And so this morning when I was at the grocery store, waiting on Jim to bring my bike helmet, thank you so much again, Jim. He brought it. Oh, so cool. But I ran into the officer that was sitting on the picnic table. And his name's Steve. And so I went inside the police department, used the restroom, came out and chatted with him for a second. And Steve said he knew the young man well, that he's a local, and kind of told me a little bit more of his story. And so, yeah, Get Wrecked for Recovery crew, be praying for a guy named Frankie, because he definitely needs it. He definitely needs it. He had track marks on his arms, and I just told him, I said, man, I know right where you're at. I've had these situations happen before. I gave him the sticker. He doesn't have a phone, but I said, God loves you. And there's a way out, Christ is the way. He died, was buried, and rose again to take away your sin. And all we are is an enemy of God until we come to that realization. And it's God that puts that realization in us. But anyway, also got in touch with Johnson's Shut-In State Park. Went ahead and made my reservation, $13. Love it. And so I've got 10 miles to go. And I'm telling you, the wind is just a super strong headwind today, but that won't last long. And yeah, I'm gonna get back on the road. I love you guys. I'll see you later. Alright, so that's it for the day. The temperature started dropping super quickly. And when I was pulling in here into the campground, coming down the road, a guy in a red truck stopped and said, "Hey, are you the cyclist that's camping at the Johnson Shut-ins?" And I said, "I am." And he said, "Okay, you're not on 402 anymore. You need to get with the camp host. He's on Loop 1. He's got a red Dodge pickup." And I said, "Okay, cool." So I went there, nobody home. So I stopped here by the camp store. I was told by Vicky on the phone earlier that they have Wi-Fi. And yeah, so I'm going to hop on and at least like do a Facebook update because there's just no service out here. And then I'm headed into the campground, and it's super early, so hopefully everything just kind of works out for the evening, but I don't know where I'm supposed to camp at, so that's more fun to the journey. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and close out the video here so I can have a rest night and just kind of enjoy this area. There's supposed to be like some waterfalls or rivers or something in here, and so I'm going to maybe try to walk around and check that out. My battery's going dead on my phone pretty quickly though, so I may save that for in the morning. But either way, if you know anyone who's passed away from addiction in any form or fashion, please drop their name in the comments or find me on Facebook, Adam Lineberry, Mobile, Alabama, and I would love to ride for your person and celebrate their life with you for a day. If you know anybody who's actively addicted, share this with them. I don't want to see anybody else die from addiction. And let's use YouTube as a tool to hopefully save a life. If you know anyone who is in recovery, please share this with them. We're all in it together, and I definitely need the recovery community's prayers and support as much as I pray for and support the recovery community. And then last but not least, don't forget Redeeming Eden is a nonprofit ministry through international gospel outreach. I'll leave a donation link in the description. You can go there, you can donate one time, you can donate monthly. It's whatever the Lord puts on your heart. And if He puts it on your heart just to pray, then just pray. Prayer has got me to Johnson Shut-In State Park in Missouri. I'm almost out of the Ozarks. Hopefully Farmington tomorrow, and the next day, Illinois. So we'll see. It depends on how big the hills are. But I'm right on schedule. Tomorrow's Tuesday, so my package from IGO, the stickers will be coming in sometime tomorrow during the day, and I'll be headed to Farmington throughout the day, so I can pick them up from the post office Wednesday morning when I head out. Should be good to go. But other than that, from here at Johnson Shut-In State Park in Missouri, I love you guys. Jesus loves you. I'll see you later. Have a good night.